guys. We're at the Capitol in Oklahoma City. Going to be going around. We're going to hard record final notices being given to Governor Stitt, Lieutenant Governor, all the senators, and the representatives that are here in the building today, their staff. We have been in this Capitol several times a week for the past month. We've done our best, not only to find out how they killed SB 430, which was supposed to ban chemtrails in Oklahoma, who was responsible for killing that bill, but we've also tried to get pressure for Governor Stitt to eliminate the stratospheric aerosol injections and the directed energy weapons that are being deployed in this state. There are 5 total directed energy weapons in the state of Oklahoma that were activated when Helene was steered up. VOP is positioned where 3 of them at the same location on Oklahoma University were right there where these weapons were deployed. Now, many of these senators and representatives have acknowledged that they know the military is poisoning our skies. You've heard them from their own mouths. You've heard them state it's the military doing this. They can't do nothing about it, right? So we're not telling these people anything that they don't know. It's the military. The military is poisoning our skies. The military is deploying weather weapons. The military murdered our families in North Carolina, which is why we're here. And if you look at when Helene was steered up to western North Carolina, the furthest western grid where the next rads were activated, we are right here in Oklahoma. Oklahoma activated its next rads with over 100, and they assisted the military in steering Helene up into western North Carolina. There is lithium there that they are still trying to get. There is a smart city project built for Asheville that signed up for it. And there's also the purest quartz in the world. So there are 3 reasons why the United States military steered weather weapon Helene up into western North Carolina. More than a couple hundred people died. And if you go and find the alternative media that's giving you these testimonies, they're not lying. It's thousands, literally thousands. So much destruction that people couldn't even count. All right. So the United States military continues to deploy stratospheric aerosol injections. Every day you go up, you see them poisoning our skies. Now, the senators and representatives, they say they don't like it, but they're not doing nothing about it. One of the aides says she's tired of them. They spray over her house every day. So these are people in position to help the people of Oklahoma, but they're not doing anything. They're just shrugging their shoulders. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the murders in North Carolina. They don't care about their children choking on barium and aluminum. They don't care that the Doppler radars have weapons grade equipment on them. It's a weather weapon. It's a Tesla tower. It's a directed energy weapon. They don't care that the Forest Service pulled all their fire activity back for responding to fire. Their fire response, the Forest Service, before the last directed energy weapons struck Oklahoma, all the Forest Service had all their resources pulled far away from those areas because the whole goal is to get as much of that property burnt down to the ground as possible. Now in western North Carolina, there's now over 260 property owners that's taken the FEMA buyout. And we were just targeting Buncombe County, okay? None of these property owners and none of these businesses have been given their land back. They haven't been told they can rebuild by FEMA. There's nothing coming for them. The Trump administration refuses to return the land stolen by FEMA because the Trump administration is on the record saying they're going to take every drop of lithium, every ounce of lithium they can out of Appalachian Mountains. They're going to take all that lithium. And the people are in the way of the Trump administration. President Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief. He can tell the military to stop poisoning our skies right now. He can tell the military to stop using directed energy weapons against us, to stop perverting our sons and daughters in the military. He has the authority, but he's refusing to do it. RFK Jr. has finally taken the complaints of citizens regarding the stratospheric aerosol injections, but he needs time to investigate what we all see clearly. The barium fallout in our atmosphere is insane. The highest levels ever tested, and people are walking around clueless. They're jacked up on the lithium, they're jacked up on the nano dust, they're jacked up on the poisons. They do not care. They do not care. And because they do not care, then it's going to take a few of us who do care to do something a little crazy. So I have full intention, and I'm telling all these people here today, and we're going to hard record this. I have full intention. I'm letting them know my words are spoken, just like I told Agent Rich. I told them they would have 3 days notice when pre-staging was done, and I'm moving on those weapons. I don't care. I literally don't care. And I'm glad they decided to not do this, so then they could show everybody what side they're on. They don't care, guys. These people, they walk around these hallways. Look. You tell them the military's poisoning us, the military's using directed energy weapons against us, and then it's like cognitive indifference. They don't want to hear it. They're at the nice Capitol today. They get to talk to political leaders. Maybe they get to meet the governor. Now, the governor himself, his own farm was demolished, burnt down, incinerated. So he has every right to be upset the Forest Service had all their fire resources pulled back far away, knowing that the directed energy weapons were going to hit Oklahoma and several states. Now you have to remember the United States Space Force just landed their secret plane that they had flying up there, and it was hundreds of days. I think it was like 700 something days it was up there. And then they've got another one up there, and they put new satellite systems up there. So there is a race for lasers in space. The United States military is working with Russia. The United States military is working with China. The United States military is working with Israel. Those three top nations are part of our weather weapons system. So you're not at war with China. You're not at war with Russia. And there's no reason to defend Israel after they murdered our sailors on the USS Liberty and have failed to apologize or even acknowledge those crimes. They don't care. We care. I care. I care. I care. I care enough that we got a crazy plan. And you guys have seen us do some crazy stuff, but we got a crazy plan. Now what we're doing is notifying everybody. We're going to hard record because when we walk through here, the service will go in and out. So we want to make sure that we have hard recorded videos of me telling the reps, the senators, and the governor's staff today that I'm not coming back. That this is my last day here. They can breathe a sigh of relief. And should I succeed, they won't see chemtrails in their skies no more. And then they can give credit to God, who is the only one who puts it in me to do the crazy things that I do. I'm not afraid of them. You shouldn't be afraid of them either. They murdered our families in Western North Carolina, and Governor Stitt is covering for the next Rad Tower installations that his state used against our people in Western North Carolina. That's not conspiracy. That's data that's been provided to the public. You guys saw the destruction. We were down there for 4.5 months. And I promised so many of you, I told you that I'm going to go after them one way or another. If they won't shut them down through the pressure that we're trying to apply, then we'll just have to go take them one at a time. We'll just have to create some spectacle that mainstream media can't ignore. Didn't they just arrest a kid for threatening to kill the President of the United States, and that kid had a manifesto? Well, I'm not threatening. I'm promising to destroy a next Rad Tower, and I have a manifesto. I have a manifesto too. It exposes the United States military for murdering our people. It exposes FEMA for the land grab in Western North Carolina. And it exposes the Donald Trump administration for continuing to expand the stratospheric aerosol injections and the directed energy weapons. President Donald Trump is permitting the U.S. military to use us as guinea pigs. Title 50 of the U.S. Code, subsection 1520A, authorizes the United States military to use chemical agents, biological agents, and directed energy weapons against us. That is a federal law. So the military can legally continue poisoning us and using these weapons against us because Americans aren't delivering their non-consent. They're not delivering their non-consent. Nobody cares. They don't care. Why would they? They have so much going on right now. Look at all the Doge exposures. Look at the new JFK assassination files being released. Don't look at the fact that Jeffrey Epstein victims, and there's been no justice for that, Don't look at the fact that Hunter Biden and the children he raped. Don't look at that now. We can't talk about that. No, but you're allowed to talk about what Doge is showing you and how Social Security fraud is a big thing. You're not allowed to talk about the directed energy weapons the military is using against you. These people don't want to hear it, but they're going to hear it today. Because this is our last day coming here to tell Governor Stitt to make the military stand down. He should have been on the phone with President Trump, especially after his farm got incinerated. And then look at the directed energy weapons that were activated when the Stillwater wildfires broke out. How did Maui and Lahaina get incinerated by CCP satellites, all three of those satellites directly over that area, at the same time the directed energy weapons were deployed, yet the Trump administration will not say a peep about that. He's not going to talk about that. He's not allowed to. And that's what we want people to understand. You're putting your faith in a man who's not even, he doesn't even have the balls to tell his own military to stop poisoning our children. Your children have higher levels of mental illness because they're absorbing the highest concentrations of barium and aluminum, and the barium fallout, as I mentioned, is causing all of these mental illnesses. And the pharmaceutical companies love this because then they can just pump you full of their psychotropics. Yeah, you're going to make them money. And that is all they're doing. They're creating a disease, and they're not even providing a cure, and they're continuing to poison our skies. Now, we've notified every senator and representative's office and the governor's office in the past 4 weeks. We've been out here several times each week, and we've maintained peace. I mean, we've maintained peace. We've implored these people, and we told them that we're fighting to get the biological and chemical agents out of our skies, and that everyone in this building is choking on the same poisons that you and we are. We're all choking on the same poisons. Our families have been murdered. The United States military has murdered Americans with their chemical agents, their biological agents, and the directed energy weapons. All of this declassified that no one wants to talk about. They want to pretend like the United States military is on our side. Then why are they poisoning our skies every day? They're poisoning Oklahoma skies right now. They were spraying these skies all night, and they've been spraying these skies every day since we've landed on the ground, and you've seen the videos and pictures proving that they're poisoning our skies. Killing the gardens. The governor knows this, but he wants to pretend like he doesn't. He has had thousands of Oklahomans call his office about the stratospheric aerosol injections. So you guys, they have taken your calls. You've delivered your non-consent. So on behalf of Western North Carolina, and on behalf of all you wonderful Oklahoma families that's been helping us out here, we're going to go move forward. You've given your non-consent, and we just want your blessing. We want you to bless whatever it is we decide to do. If we destroy a tower, we want you to bless it. If we hijack a tower, we want you to bless it. It doesn't matter what we do, as long as we don't harm life. We will go destroy the military weapons. We don't care if it's got Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, the Boeing company's name on it. I don't care. These weapons are embedded in our infrastructure. These weapons are being used against us. And the sitting president of the United States says it's okay for the military to keep poisoning your children and to burn your lands out as they test their new space lasers. Those are directed energy weapons. You guys can look up the patents, and you can look up the various aerial craft that they have, including the satellites, where these weapons are equipped on them, and they're being deployed against us. This isn't conspiracy. This is all military declassified information, military whistleblowers coming out, and Title 50 U.S. Code subsection 1520A, which authorizes the military to use me as a guinea pig, you as a guinea pig, your children are guinea pigs. They're experimenting on us without our consent. And we don't consent. We don't consent. So we're going to go and record. I'm going to tell every single aide, every senator, every rep. We might have the troopers follow us around, but they've been really nice to us lately. But we could have them following around. But we're going to record, show you guys that we did everything possible, and we're not coming back to this palace. The people here in this palace don't care. But they're not going to be able to ignore what happens this weekend. They're not going to be able to ignore that, because it'd be the first time private citizens went and destroyed the military's weapons that they've embedded within our community infrastructure. Hasn't happened before. No one will do it. They don't think nobody will. They didn't think we would tear out the cartel's water stations. They didn't think we would go into Mexico to get those kids out of that stash house. They didn't think that we would do a lot of stuff that we ended up doing because they wouldn't do their job. The governor is a traitor. He's betraying all of you in Oklahoma. And every one of you in North Carolina, this governor's okay with these weather weapons being activated from his state. Oklahoma is the weather capital of the world for a reason. The NOAA and Radar Operation Commands is down there in Norman, Oklahoma. 3 directed energy weapons are on Oklahoma University campus. Oklahoma University, a $1.8 billion endowment, and a majority of that goes to their weather weapons technology. So we're using our own students and our own universities, working with the militaries and the corporations like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, the Boeing company. We're using our own students to play God with the weather. And so the military believes that they can continue doing this because Americans have not said they don't consent, that they're willing to listen to. I think we're going to have fun this afternoon. And 2 days, we're going to have my loved ones, those of you, I would say get food. I would say get medical equipment. Say have plenty of water, just in case. Because a black swan event like NextRat Towers going down is something mainstream media is not going to be able to ignore. And President Donald Trump's name is going to be all over that because he refused to shut down these weather weapons. He refused to stop the military from poisoning our skies. He wants you to be worried about Iran developing nuclear weapons when the United States military is poisoning our children and using directed energy weapons against us. He wants you to be worried about Iran. He wants you to defend and protect Israel when Israel has weather weapon systems embedded within the military systems. Some of these units is actually military weapons. Some of these units have Israeli military weapons attached to them. This is a joint program, part of the United States Antarctica Project. The USAT programs. If you research the Antarctica Treaty, they're playing God with the weather, and your children are choking on the poisons. And you don't have blue skies. You don't know what real rain feels like anymore. You ain't seen a real cloud in how long? But everyone else thinks it's normal now. It's the new normal, just like they did the scandemic, when it was warp sped on the American people. Well, the current Trump administration is warp speeding more chemical and biological agents from the military into your children's lungs as we record this. You are choking on poisons that the military has put up there. The barium fallout testing is irrefutable evidence, and they're ignoring it. They don't care. So let's go see if we can make them care one last time in a peaceful way. And then let's move into position to do what we got to do. God is good. We love you guys. We'll give you updates later. We're getting ready to go deliver the final notices.